Okay, guys, this video, you can skip it. You can skip it. You will slap yourself in the head if you do that. I promise you, okay? In this video, we're going to talk about taking profits, but we're not just going to talk about taking profits. We're going to talk about taking profits the best fucking possible way we can, all right? And I know it's a whole lot to say, so I have something to prove right now, but let me show you. So welcome to the Fomo Factory. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on, and you might be thinking, what profits? The profits that you're going to get over the next couple months, okay? I make a couple videos about how the market is looking right now, how everything is oversold, how every chart indicator, piece of macro, piece of sentiment is saying, this is it, okay? And it could very well be that it plays out like this again, okay? And if you are well positioned, you should have a plan, okay? So first, real quickly, this is the platform that we're gonna use. I will talk about that, but this is insane. There's a link down below. It's completely free, by the way. There's no need to sign up somewhere, no nothing. I'm gonna show you how this works and why this is the most helpful platform. But first, taking profits, it's not a matter of where should I take my profits? When should I take my profits? Because there's not a clear answer to that, right? It's different per person. It depends on what's your goal in the first place? What's your entry? What's the risk that you are willing to take? A lot of people, I can also say like, hey, take your profits out after getting a 2x. That way you can never lose. And I think that that's the best way possible. But overall, some people want to have a 5x in crypto. Some want to go for a 20x, right? So there's not a clear answer to that. But this platform will let you help you do that. And you might feel like, well, this comes over very sponsored. Let me tell you this. We have the Alpha Factory. There's a link down below to the Alpha Factory. That's our exclusive community. And there's a community member who a couple months back said like, hey, I've been working on this platform. And I was like, fuck, I had this idea for so long, but I'm not that great in developing. And he is. So I was beta testing it with him. Shout out to John. And after it was all good, we shared it in the Alpha Factory. We got great feedback and comments to this platform, and it's now time to release it to the world. So I want to talk about it to this community because I think that this platform is going to go mainstream. I really think so. And I'm just very happy that you can be the first to use it. I've been using it for a while, and it's perfect. So I'm going to show you how you can set up your portfolio right here, but how you can fill in your exit strategies right here as well. This is insane. Okay, so if you go to the website down below, you get to this website, plan your entries and exits, track your bags, and move responsibly, right? This is GTFO, get the fuck out. There's also a GTFI, right, section where you can plan your entries because, hey, what good are taking profits if you don't have your entries yet? But I hope that most people are, financially prepared. So let's fucking go. So what this is, again, you will start on this page right here, and it starts very simple. You add a token, right? So what you basically want to do right here, I don't know, where do you track your portfolio? Let me know down in the comments. I mostly use CoinGecko and GTFO right now. So what you want to do is you want to add your portfolio right here. So I'll show you how it works. And I'm going to take you step by step to it because it's a big platform. There's a lot to see. It's not that hard. If you understand it, you will love it. Absolute can guarantee you that already, okay? So add a token. What token do you have? Let me take two examples of my portfolio. So I, for example, have AVAX in my portfolio. And it tracks everything, right? It tracks the lowest cap coins. It also tracks my project, Web3 Whales, for example. You can take anything. It has great APIs. So let's go with AVAX, in my opinion, because that's in my portfolio. Now, this is the first thing that you get. This is a security portfolio idea. And what is this? This is basically your login, right? So if you have this code right here, you can always import your portfolio somewhere else. Or if your PC forgets about it because you clear some history or whatever, take this code, log in again, right? You only have to do that. So save it very well, otherwise you're setting your portfolio up for nothing. what I'm doing, I'm always, I had to do it once, right? This is an example. You can take this one, but it's not my real portfolio. I send it to my Telegram saved messages and my email, right? You can also get the platform GTFO on your phone, for example. So what you can also do is copy the code and then import it on your phone, and it loads up your complete portfolio on your phone as well. This is great because this makes sure that you don't have to log in. You don't have to connect anything. It's like that's like the safest way, right? So no need for emails and all that kind of stuff. So you agree? Got it. So I now have AVAX in my portfolio. Let's add what I have first. So you click on AVAX. You see the market data right here. It's all from CoinGecko, so it looks very familiar, right? The market cap and the current price, the all-time high, all-time low, volume, etc., etc. Then you have your current position once you fill that in, and the future strategy. And that's where it's gonna get really fun and easy for you. And I promise you that by using this platform, you will become a better investor as well. Because most people, they don't have a plan in the first place, but other people might have a bad plan, right? And this will help you visualize like, hey, how much money do I actually walk away with if I DCA out of the market, right? If AVAX now is 20 bucks and it goes to 200, you might be like, hey, 10x. Yeah, but are you actually going to sell exactly there, or are you going to strategically DCA out? I think less, right? Then how much do you walk away with? This platform tells you, but you can also say like, hey, I want to make a 5x. At what level should I DCA out to walk away with a 5x? It's great. It's great. So you have the chart, and then you have your transactions, right? I'm gonna add a transaction. So what I will add in this case, I'm gonna not add all my separate transactions. I'm gonna just fill in the quantity of AVAX, in this case, what I have, which is 8.99. And the price that I bought it for on average, which is 15.51. It shows you the total cost. You can add a note, etc., etc. Let's add that transaction. So you can now already see a little bit more. You can see where AVAX is right now, and you can see your average entry, right? So this is all already kind of visualizing. Let me move my big fat ugly Dutch hat to the left. Here we go. But you can already see that it kind of visualizes for you like, hey, it's sitting here and my average entry is here, right? Nice. Okay. Gives you an idea already, right? Now, there are a couple really cool things that you can do with this. First off, let me add one other token before I'm gonna get into this, because then you have some more information up here later as well. So let me add another one, and let me add my render. So I'm gonna add render in this case, add the token, and add a transaction where it then imports what I have. So I have 3285 render at a price of 4.25. Okay. Add transaction. So I can now here see render. And it's a lot, right? It shows you like, oh, bam, information, bam, information. But once it's clear, you're going to be so happy that you finally have this information somewhere. So now, what it also shows is your current position, right? This is my current value. This is how much render I have. This is my unrealized P&L. I haven't sold this, right? So this unrealized. So that's a 4% up on render. Well, in the current market, being up on something is already fine enough for me, right? So all this information is now here. Okay. You have your future strategy. This is what I'm going to show you right now. This is where it gets interesting, because so far what I'm showing you is just a portfolio tracker. Nice, but we have those already, right? Now, let me see. The first step. Well, first is, once you fill your coins in, on top you get your totals, right? So from what I filled in right here, it shows me that I have $33,000 worth of coins with a current unrealized P&L of $5,000, which is 18% ROI, otherwise 1.18x, right? Here it shows my P&L and the gains, what I total invested and what I currently have. Cool. Now, where it gets interesting. let's start with AVAX. Okay. What you can do, by the way, is you can add, but play around with it for sure. And if you have any feedback, questions, at the bottom of the site, there is a Discord that belongs to John, the creator of the platform. You can jump in right there, and you can join a community to talk about it, share strategies, come up with ideas. And if you made gains, you can always tip in, by the way. That's the only thing. Like, hey, if this platform helps you make a little extra money, he's been doing this for free for months already. So shout out, man. So what I can now do is go to AVAX and I can plan transactions. So I can schedule my buying orders or my selling orders, right? Let's say in this specific example, we are done buying, right? You can say like, hey, I want to make a transaction and I want to make it a buy. And my target price for AVAX is $12 and I want to buy 100 AVAX. Then it will cost me this and this and that. And then you can fill that in and then it will automatically be added to your strategy. But let me come up with strategy first. I have 899 AVAX, which I eventually want to sell, right? I'm not going to hold that for the rest of my life. I eventually want to sell that. And I want to DCA out. Let's say in this specific case, I feel like, okay, you know what? 800 AVAX is going into my DCA strategy. I'm going to get rid of that. And then the other 99, I'm gonna just leave that as a moonshot. Like if all my targets are hit, I'm gonna keep 99. We'll see where it goes, right? We can do that. In that case, you can start by set HODL. So everything that you set as a HODL reserve is not going to be added to your exit strategy. Okay? So let me set a HODL reserve again of 99 AVAX to round it up, which is 11%. So 89% of my full AVAX bags is going into my DCA out strategy, which is also a fair, percentage. If you ask me, can I go further to the left? By the way, I'm in the middle of the screen. So let me do that. Update the HODL, right? You can always here find your HODL reserve, right? And you can always edit that if you later feel like, nah, I just want to use all my coins to DCA out or whatever, right? It's completely fine. Now, let's plan transactions. Now, let's set up the selling strategy. So again, that only applies to that's not in the HODL, all right? So the other 800 AVAX in this case. Plan transaction, and let's plan a buy or sell transactions. Right now, what you can do, you can say like, hey, at $30, right? That's 45% from the current price. I want to sell 200 AVAX. That will be worth $6,000. Fine. You can do that. And you can put your own targets like that. What you can also do, though, is go to some presets. And you can adjust these presets later. What you can do is you can say, I want to do the all-time high bear. And what it says basically is that you sell 25% when it's 60% below the all-time high. Now, I wouldn't recommend using these presets necessarily because all-time highs, if we, for example, go to AVAX, the all-time high is, it's not for this cycle, right? It's the all-time high. So this is the all-time high. For a lot of coins, the all-time high is not super realistic as a lot of new coins hit the market, right? So a lot of coins won't go back to their all-time high. So be a little careful what you use for what, right? What you can also do is say like, hey, I'm gonna be a little optimistic right here. I'm gonna use the stair step. And it's very simple. I'm gonna sell 25% after making a 2x, 25% after a 4x, 25 after a 6x, and 25 after an 8x. And that 2, 4, 6, 8x, you can say like, I want that to be from my average entry or from the current price. I would say average entry is maybe most realistic, but that's up to you. So I'm gonna use a stair step in this case. So let's add that sell plan. And what it now says is, hey, we're gonna take your 800 AVAX and we're gonna say that you if you want to apply this, you should sell 200 at 31 bucks, another 200 at 62, another 200 at 93, and another 200 at 124. This first sell will already give me a gain of $3,000, 100%, as it's a 2x from my average entry, of course, right? This is going to give me a gain of 4x, 6x, 8x, and this is how much money it all actually is, right? Then what you want to do is you want to click order for two reasons. One, it's being activated basically on the platform. It takes everything into account, right? So you want to order these orders. Two, if you are using a CEX and you place limit orders for this, then, because reminder, this platform doesn't trade for you, right? You don't connect anything to this. This is just for yourself. You still have to buy and sell yourself, right? But if you are using a CEX, the order is basically a confirmation for yourself, like, okay, I have put in my limit sell order right now. So order, I know that I've done it, right? Extra confirmation for yourself. Now, if you did this, then on top, it's gonna give you a little more information right now. Because now you have a future strategy field, which is filled in, right? Because if you sell at all these levels right here, then you can see that my total P&L is 50K, my total profit from AVAX, which is an average amount of X's of 4.6, right? While AVAX in this scenario does an 8x. I walk away with a 4.6x in this case. Right? That's what you can do. That's pretty cool if you ask me. If you refresh the page, by the way, I have to get John updated. I think that you don't need to refresh the page. Yeah, but in this case, you can see like, hey, my sell plan 1, right? My sell plan 2, 3, and 4. And you can see on the chart where that's sitting, right? So you can also visualize it a little bit. Like, hey, I have my second or my first selling order right here. Does it make sense? Why resistance, and et cetera, et cetera. So that's pretty cool. You can turn it off. You can turn the average on or off for your transactions, whatever, right? So that's pretty interesting. So that's what it shows you. Then, however, you still have 99 AVAX. If this all gets hit, right, I still have 99 AVAX worth at least $124. So that's even extra. Now, let's do something else. Let's go to render. Okay. Now, with render, I want to, oh, by the way, another function is must review. Click it, right? That's a weekly reminder that has to be done every week again. And that's pretty smart, actually. It's for you to be reminded that, hey, look into the project. How are things looking? Is it still something you like, something you want to hold, right? Just a reminder like, hey, review the project for a bit. You don't want to buy something and don't look at it for 3 years. You want to know how the thing is doing, where your money is, right? Now, let's go to render. If we add a transaction, right? And we want to make it a, oh, sorry, not a transaction. We already did the transactions. Let's plan a transaction. Let's say in this case, I don't want to set a HODL reserve for render. I just want to, sell it all, whatever, right? Plan a transaction. And I want to make it a, let me check right here. Let me come up with something. All right, so sorry, I had to pause it real quick. For instance, I want to, do this with render, but I'm a bear in a bull market and I'm a pussy and I feel like it's going lower, right? Okay, fine. No, sorry. If you feel like, hey, I want to make a purchase as well, cool. Let's look at render, right? And you always have to do a little TA for it or whatever. But let's say I'm you know, feeling like, okay, I want to buy render at, let's round it up, 150, right? Let's make a buy transaction at 150, 150 for render. How much do I want to buy? At 150, I want to buy 1,000 coins, right? 1,000. Add a buy plan, right? So this is my planning board, and it already has my buying plan implemented right there, right? So what the cool thing is in that case, that here is my buy plan right now, right? I can say, Phil, I first have to order it, by the way, and then I can say fill once it gets filled. Then it lowers my average entry, of course, right? Now, for now, that's not the case, right? What you'll see right here is all if your targets are getting hit, including your buying order, right? So if I want to know how I'm going to do with render in case my buying order gets hit and my selling orders get hit, cool, let's mess around with that, right? So buying order is there, right? Let's plan some selling orders. And let's go to presets, right? Let's be a little cautious on render. We like it. We don't have high hopes for 100x's. 8x maybe is a lot, I don't know. Let's go with the capital shield. I'm selling already 50% as soon as I'm 2x above my average entry, right? 3x, another 20%. 4x, another 15. 5x, another 15. Add that sell plan. What you can always do, by the way, if you feel like 1275, I'd rather sell it at 1250. Cool, add it. Set it to 1250, right? Save it. You can also say like, yeah, you know, there I'm going to sell 650 render, right? Or let's say this one. I think selling 50% at the 2x is a little too much. Other than that, I do like the presets, right? And we're looking like that you can make your own presets as well. But you might feel like 50 is maybe a little too much. Cool. Don't sell 1,600, but sell 1,200, right? In that case, you can plan another transaction and you can do it customly, right? You can say in this case, like, hey, I want to sell at $9 as well, right? And available to sell, first I have to order all of these, by the way. So I'm going to order this one. Otherwise, it doesn't know that you didn't have that render anymore, right? So I'm going to add a transaction and I want to sell another. I have to refresh it. Sorry for that. Sometimes you have to refresh. Should be worked on. No problem. So let's get back to render right here, right? And I have my buying order right here. And I have my selling orders right here. But I still have some render, right? So at $10, I still want to sell some render. It still says 3K. I have to look how that works actually, because I don't have that 3K at the moment, I think. How many render do I have in there? 3K. Yeah, okay. I have to get back to that. But that's a possibility that you add custom above the presets as well. But I think it's a fault from my side, by the way, here. Apart from that, I can now here see what my potential profit is going to be as soon as my buying order gets hit first and then my selling orders as well, right? See it right here. First I buy right here, it adds to my total, and then I'm gonna sell render for the rest. And then it shows me that with this cautious, you know, way of doing it, my total P&L will be this, right? And my new average entry will be 360, right? Because I wanted to buy at 150 as well. So that's pretty cool. At a certain point, it will show you as well how many total profits you will have if this all gets hit, right? So if all my AVAX will get hit, if all my render will get hit, it gives you all the information right here. Now let's be hypothetical right here. Let's go into the future. Let's say my AVAX is doing fantastic. right? So let's go back from render, or let's go back from, yeah, let's go to AVAX. Let's say that the market is doing well and hey, AVAX at 30 bucks, I sold it, right? Right here. It could also be that I don't use limit orders, but that I do it manually and that I sold it at 31 and a half or 20. You can edit that right there, right? But if you do it exactly like this, execute it. Let's say that it moons and we're also going to $60. Action, fill, execute. Cool. Look at this. If we now go up, you see this green check right here. You know what that means? It says free bag, $4,600 profit above your total cost, right? So I took my initial out. On top of that, I have 4,000 extra profit, and the rest of my render AVAX is a free bag. Pretty cool. Then it here shows you even more, right? Purple is your current holdings. Everything in purple is your current holdings. Everything in green is your actual realized value, right? So you see that I'm already here and you want this thing to go all to the right, right? Because if everything works out as I filled it in right here, my total profit will be $78,000, right? And so far, I'm already here at 12.4. Now still have 65 to go. It's pretty cool to see your progress bar like that, right? So the blue is the future strategy, right? The what you still have to go to unrealized and your planned transactions, basically. Oh, and by the way, I know what I did with render. That was not a mistake, but I saw that I have 3,200 render to sell, and that's correct because if I add a transaction, it looks at the render that you already have, but also at the render in this case that you are going to get based on your buying order that you filled in. And we filled in a buying order for a big amount of render, another 1,000 render right here. So I can plan my transaction right here and I can say like, hey, at $9, I still want to sell, I don't know, 2,000 render right there, right? Oh, now I filled in a little too much, and now you are getting warnings, by the way. So that's also pretty cool. If you fill in that you want to sell more than you actually have, it shows you all over the website, red, warning, warning, planning errors, this, that. So you have to take a look where that's coming from. And it says that it's from render. And it says like, hey, I have too much because I fill in that I want to sell this and this and I don't have that. So let's delete one order. So it's okay again. So it's also pretty cool in recognizing if you made a mistake on your own. Now, what you can also do here is go to the warning settings, right? Because if a coin comes close to your target, you can fill in if you can get a warning for that, like, watch out, it's time to almost sell. You're almost there, right? And you can here make these settings to your taste, right? So if it's 25% to the threshold, to the price that you want it to be, then it's going to flash over 14 days, for example. So you can fill that in the way you want. Now, you can mess with this all you want, right? This is really cool because again, it shows you in this case, like, hey, I have my DCA targets for render. But if they hit, what do I walk away with in total? A 2.8x. Okay, it's maybe a bit disappointing, right? Okay, maybe I should adjust this. Maybe I should not sell this much already at this price. Maybe I should look at higher prices. Maybe you can mess with it however you want and make it to taste, right? This is just a really, really, really good way to make a plan and to DCA out of the market. And to, I think what's important, make sure that you have a free bag of coins at a certain point. Because again, you came in crypto for the reward, right? To make money, not to lose money. I think this really helps to make sure that you are at least not losing money. Now, if you add a lot of coins, it could be a little messy, right? So what you can also do, just a nice extra right here, you can add tags to your coins, right? So here you can see the tags for AVAX, and in this case, add a tag. Well, AVAX is a layer 1. Let's add that, right? So layer 1. If you have multiple layer 1s and you only want to see how your layer 1s are doing, you can here say tags. I want to see L1, and it's only going to show me my L1s, right? And then you can clear it like that. So that's, in my opinion, also really cool. You can make the overview really the way you want. Anything else with this? Yeah, so if you are on another device, or if you ever refreshed whatever and you have to add your portfolio again, you can just click on sync portfolio, right? And here it says sync existing portfolio. Take the code that you got at the beginning, that you saved somewhere, put it right here, and it will import your portfolio the way you left it, right? So there's that. One last thing, by the way, something that I think a lot of people deal with right now is that there are also coins that you have which you are in a loss on. So let me add a coin that I'm in a loss on, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. I think it should be pretty clear by now, but any questions, leave them below or jump into John's Telegram, Discord. Let's add Joe in this case, and let me add some transactions for Joe so you can see how I fucked it up with Trader Joe in this case. And I have 69373 Joe tokens on an average price of 0.318636. So I've spent it 22,000 shit, man. Don't show my wife on Joe. Let me add that, all right? So here it now gives me my information on Joe, right? This is my current value. I'm in a loss of 44%. I lost pretty much 10K on it, right? And now it also shows me on the chart, and that's something that I just really like, where my average is, right? If we look at the full history, then you can see like, okay, we're not that far from it, and does it make sense in this case to sell with a loss or not? And if I look at the chart, I'd be like, yeah, how hard could it be to go above the average entry at a certain point? But that gives you some cool, visualizations. Now, what you're probably going to notice is that if you plan a transaction, and let's go another time with a preset, and let me check. We go with the capital shield again, right? We're being cautious in this case. Add a sell plan. Cool. Let me check what it's going to do. So, oh wait, and let me do one other thing, by the way. Let me delete all of these, because sometimes a coin is down that much that you don't necessarily want to sell it at a certain amount of excess based on the entry price, but the current price, right? So feel like, yeah, Joe, going back to my entry price would be great already. You might want to look at the current price, right? So let's go with the capital shield on the current price in this case. Let's add that plan. Right now, what you can see is that I, in this case, already need to sell half of my tokens at pretty much break even, right? And sometimes you'll notice that it would be even in a loss. That kind of sucks, right? And that gives you more insights in the way you are investing. So what I can do is think to myself like, all right, I bought it in the first place. I like it, right? What can I do? Maybe I should put that first exit a little higher, right? So let's edit it, and let's not sell it at 35 cents, but let's sell it at, I don't know, 45. Safe changes, right? It's not that big of a difference in the bull market, but you'll do notice that I at least walk away with 40% profit on that trade, right? Instead of pretty much zero. What you can also do is say to yourself, like, okay, my average is just simply too high, right? My first transaction, I'm playing even, right? My first sell, and that's not why I bought it. So I need to lower my, average. And in that case, I can say to myself, like, okay, let's add a buy plan, right? Let's buy Joe. In this case, let's go to the chart. Is now at 17 cents, right? At 15, I want to buy a little more. It's not that far from here, right? And it's far under my average entry. So I want to buy at 15 cents and I want to buy 10,000 at buy plan, right? Now, what you can see is that my new average entry would be 0.29 instead of 0.32. So that way you can calculate a little bit like, hey, what's my average entry going to be if I add a certain amount of coins at a certain price, right? Once you're happy with that, then you can feel like, okay, let's execute that. Now, in this case, it shows me that I have more coins, right? So I can drag this to the top right here because the buy comes first, right? So in this case, I have a bigger amount of coins right here. Completely nice, right? So I can add a transaction and it shows me that I have another 69,000 Joe tokens to sell because that's what I have bought here, right? So in that case, I can say like, hey, in my first sell, I want to just sell a little more, right? So I want to make this a 9, for example, because I have these tokens now if this gets filled. And then you can see that if we refresh, everything's correct at least. The platform is updating a lot, so shout out to John. But it makes me sometimes have to look at it a couple times extra. Let me see. Did I edit it? Yeah. All right. So that's what I'm going to sell. So you can see that now I have $5,000 profits in this case, right? And I even have a little Joe tokens left, right? This is the amount of tokens that you still have after this transaction is executed. So you can add those to your selling plan if you want. Anything else? It's been long. I don't know. I don't think so. There's also a feature, but I think he's updating it. I will make some updated videos about this, where you, like I said, can fill in like, hey, I have these coins and I want to walk away with a 5x. Show me where to sell, right? So that will be coming again as well. Or maybe I'm overlooking it. It's already there, but I can see it right now. Doesn't really matter. All in all, it gives you great insights, right? Hey, what if all my plans are working out? How much do I actually walk away with in this bull market? 100K in this case of profit and 150 in total. Why? Because I also initially invested 50K. So there's that. Link down below. Again, free. Let me know what you think of it. I love the platform so much. Again, it makes me a better investor. Makes me not want to buy every single dip out there. It makes me think about a plan. Makes me able. My problem is selling too soon. A lot of people, they sell too late. I think this takes away those problems if you apply this well. So I hope it's going to be helpful. If you like it, don't thank me. Jump into John's Discord, thank him. It's beautiful. So yeah, thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe if you're new. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon.